All right, everyone. Hello, this is QiqoChat training for October 6, 2020. My name is Lucas here in New York. I'll be sharing my screen. We got a great group of people who are facilitating all sorts of events. We're in this free training right now, and I'll show you the components of every Kiko event, and you can think about how you can configure them. Kiko is a very flexible platform. We provide you a lot of options, and then you get to make the choices for how you want your event space to be. There's two things that Kiko does that is helpful for interactive events. The first is you get to design all of the different online rooms that you want, and you put in those rooms all the tools that you want the participants to have in each room. You think about, what rooms do I need now? What rooms do I need halfway through the event? What rooms do I need at the end? It's this kind of flow. Where do participants move from here to here to here? And the other thing that QiqoChat provides is an easy way for participants to move themselves from room to room. We use Zoom by default, but you can connect to Adobe Connect, GoToMeeting, Jitsi, WebEx, Microsoft Teams, and others that open with the link. So here is a default event. You got the name and time. You could see who is present. And there's some other data about people who are present. You can click on map view and you can see where people are calling in from today. We'll click on participate now. This is where you are in this event. We could see everyone is at the main room. On the right-hand side, you see a notes tool, and you can swap out this notes tool for others like Google Docs or anything that's interactive, poll everywhere, Mentimeter, these kinds of audience participation tools, and I'll show examples of that. At the top left, you've got join video for the main room. So that's what everybody clicked to get in. And there's a separate Zoom meeting in every single one of these breakouts. By default, there's 10 breakout rooms, but you can go up to 100. And if someone wanted to change breakout rooms, they can click on that room and then join video. So we usually say 3 steps. Number 1, leave Zoom. Number 2, go somewhere. And then number 3, join Zoom when you get there.
May I ask a question?
Yes,
so when you talk about breakout rooms, is this technical Zoom breakout rooms? Like you have need one Zoom license and you can self-assign to the breakouts, or is it like you need for every room a Zoom license?
You don't need any Zoom licenses to use QiqoChat. QiqoChat pays Zoom 1/2 cent per minute per person. We charge you 1 cent per minute per person plus $1 per day. These are full Zoom meetings or webinars. You can connect a webinar or a meeting to every one of these Kiko spaces. So you create the spaces in QiqoChat, and then we assign a Zoom meeting to each of those spaces. If you wanted breakout rooms inside a Zoom meeting, like we're all up here at the main room, we could go into breakout rooms inside the Zoom meeting, but that's not very common because you already have the breakout rooms out here. So most of the time they're using breakout rooms, it's going to be out here in Kiko.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Frank. All right, you please keep all the questions coming. And if you want to, I normally start off events to say that this is a different, it's not just a webinar, this is interactive. So please add your questions here. And I'll just create a few bullet points so you can do that. You can share them with me using your microphone, or you can just type them in there. Now, this is an event that you get after just 20 seconds. You type in the name of the event, you choose the start date, and this is what it looks like with the default photo, but you can customize this. So let's take a look at this event here. This event is going on right now. It's with UNESCO. It's their people that work with refugee children all across the world and protecting children in the time of outbreaks. That's their conference here. So the way they organize this one is they have an image in the background. You can see it here if I scroll down. It's just some children. So you can customize this image. And then they have an image at the top left for which room that you're in. They happen to be using the same image here for all their rooms. When people arrive, they're arriving in the lobby, and they have this note here that says what you can do in the lobby. So this morning, they asked us to be at their help desk here. And as people arrived, we'd answer their questions and help them get oriented. Now they're in sessions number 14 and 15. And you see people will click over into session 14, and then they'll click join video for that session. They've also embedded some other tools here. So the full week agenda, and here's day 2 agenda. So you could put different PDFs on the right-hand side, and you're customizing your event space. This is the lobby, this one right here. And if you wanted to go into, say, session 14, click on session 14, and then they have just a regular notes document there. Other things in the lobby that they're displaying, you could put some interactive tools in there. Here, they asked us to put in a video. So here's one YouTube video on the right-hand side of how to use the platform. And we walk them through speaker bios. But you get the idea of you can put in a bunch of different objects into every room. PDFs are a very flexible way to put in any information that you like. So let me stop here, and I should ask for any questions that you have. All right, there's a few other options here. So you can set a timer so people know when it's time to change rooms. Then back here, this is our event. And you see everybody's going to type in a different color. And if I click admin controls, this is where you set the timer. And if I want to notify breakout rooms, you say, please return to the main room in 5 minutes. So you can hear that chime. So when you're in Zoom, you're going to be focused on the conversation. And so that's why we make that sound. Can you integrate the world map here? Yes, you can. I'll show another example. We are in one event, but you might want to have a series of events. So here we're in what's called a circle on QiqoChat. If you have the same people meeting over and over and over again, then you can create a circle with a logo. So a circle is on Kiko like a group is on Facebook. Facebook has groups, Kiko has circles. So the same group of people can keep coming back over and over again to meetings that are in that circle. So there's a calendar for this circle. We'll go to the July event so people can go back to an event and they can look at the notes that they had. This is an open space that had 687 people. Click participate now. Let's see, the colors are changed. They have a PDF here. They wanted to make it very simple. Welcome, please click the green button to launch Zoom. And the green button was up here. It's turned off now. Someone had asked about the participant map. So yes, you can embed the Google map that you saw earlier right into your event. Other things you can embed. Here's logos from the sponsors. Google Docs example. We had live DJs during a networking hour. All right, let's see if there are some other questions that people have. You can also just turn on your microphone and ask me a question at any time. Can you put the skill map in here? Yes. So in order to integrate all these tools, it's pretty easy. You're just going to copy a link and paste it in, and I'll show you how to do that. Right now in room number 1, we just have the regular notes document. And we're going to come back in here and replace this. So I will get an example Google Doc. Here's some example Post-its. If you want to see what it looks like. All right, this is what we'll be embedding, these Post-its here. I'm going to put it into room 1. And you could put different tools in each of the rooms. So as the administrator of the event, or as an assistant administrator of the event, I click Edit. This is where you enter the title and description of the event and the start date. And if you want to get into some of the other options, click on Customize your main space and breakouts, the number of rooms that you want. Maybe we want to call these different names. So I'll call it main, stage, main room. The next room can be California room, Texas room, Louisiana room, Maine, New Brunswick rooms, yeah, just different names of your spaces. Maybe you want to put photos of those places so people can feel, oh, I'm in California now, or I'm in Texas now. So you don't have to be meeting in one building. Your rooms can be all over the world, whatever you'd like to call them. So now the purpose of what we're doing here is just to show how easy it is to put in those post-its. So just click in here where it says Online Tools and Notes Pages, and just paste it in. And that'll show up in the main room. If you want it to be in the room below the main room, then put a blank line, and you could just keep pasting in and it would show up in all the rooms. But we'll just put it in the first breakout room now. All right, so just copy and paste the link and click Update. And then we'll go back to our room and we can see the difference. So you see the names of the rooms: California, Texas, Louisiana, New Brunswick. So we go into California room. We'll see our post-its are here. Example Google Doc. So I'll put that also in there. So I'll show you in the California room how to put 2 notes pages, just like we have up here. There's many different options here. So if you want to put a second one in the California room, click Edit. Customize your main space. So we'll call this one Notes. And I put the word there in a colon, and this one is Drawing. So just put the word that you want to label the button with, and then a colon, and then the link that you want displayed on that page, and then same thing for the next one. These are going to be at 2 different rooms, so to put them on the same room, do a backspace, and you get them up here on the same line now, with a space in the middle. And you don't have to memorize all this. All these instructions are posted here under helpful hints. But this is kind of advanced. If you want more and more tools, there's a way to do that. And there's also a way under helpful hints to keep track of it on a spreadsheet. You can click helpful hints, use this Google spreadsheet template, which has instructions. Sometimes if you have a big event with hundreds of people, you might want 100 Google Docs in all the different breakout rooms for day 1, 2, 3. So they can get pretty advanced, but we'll just click Update, and so we can see the difference now. So we go back in to the room, and we have Drawing and Notes like this. So you can jump between the 2 very easily when you're there. I saw a question in the main room of what tools can we embed in here? Can we embed Mural and Miro? Good news, Miro, in just a week or 2, you will be able to embed. Mural is coming soon. one of the representatives from that company is in the Liberating Structures Slack community, and many people are asking for this. So they say that they do have something about embeddable mural coming soon. Here's the list of all the tools.
Sorry, which one comes next week? It's Miro or Mural?
M-I-R-O, Miro.
Okay, Miro comes next week. Okay, and how does it look like the integration? Is it like the link? It's the browser inside window, or?
I think it'll be pretty similar. I don't have all the details yet, but is that Frank that was asking the question?
Yeah.
I'll email you when it's ready, Frank.
Okay, perfect. But in general, all these integrations are just like a browser window. You just open, instead of a new tab, you open it in QiqoChat, right?
That's right. If you want to open it in a new tab, then you can do that. You just change new tab equals true at the end of the link, and then it will open in a new tab. And that's explained when we're seeing the notes. Here
and my question to the skill map was about, in the first page, there's also a skill map. This is the same thing, right? You just need a link, then you put it in.
Yes, that's right. No one had asked for the skill map before, but I'll add it to this document. So here are tools that people use frequently.
Okay.
Tools for taking notes like Etherpad and Google Docs. Here's a bunch of whiteboarding tools, survey tools, tools for scheduling, media like YouTube, Spotify. Post-its, you can use Padlet, fundraising. These are fun ones. YoTribe and Spatial Chat, I'll show an example of that. You can embed social media feeds in, even collaborative puzzles. So it could just be a break room and people are putting a puzzle together. And then down here is the instructions, Frank, for the map. And I will add the skills map here. There's also written conversations. QiqoChat has about a dozen tools we make, and most of the other tools you bring in from other sources. If you want a tool for written conversations, an email discussion that is happening before your event, we have a tool for that. And then anything else that can be done with custom HTML, here are the instructions for that. So here's the one for puzzles, just for fun to show you what is possible. But you would see people with their mouse clicking and dragging all the puzzle pieces to this board. So it's a fun feeling of being together, even though you're not present. One more type of tool that is embeddable is these spatial tools. One is called Spatial Chat. I'm going to see if this link is still good. All right, so this one is Spatial Chat, and I can choose to, is good for networking. It's not, so you don't do it in Zoom, you're going to use Spatial Chat if you want. You can do networking in Zoom, and then in another QiqoChat room, you could do networking in Spatial Chat. So I'll say, I want to connect with my camera and microphone, and then join the space. And this one's fun. I'm going to minimize this and maybe close this just to get a bit more space. And then zoom out a little bit. So I can drag myself over here. I can talk to people over here. And then drag myself over here and talk to people over here. And so you can be moving around in like a hallway. And you can, as I walk away from someone, they get quieter and quieter. You could choose whatever photo you like to. So that's a fun way for people to move themselves around the conference space. You could have 50 people in this room. You could buy this tool even without QiqoChat, $50 a month. If you buy it through QiqoChat and you just use it for part of the month, we charge you half as much, $25 a month for this tool. Let's see, do we have any additional questions here in the main room? Anybody like to add a question with their microphone on? Well-known app that cannot be used by QiqoChat would be Mural. That's the one that's most commonly asked for, but I think in about a few months, they will have an embeddable version. So that is going to be good news coming soon. Some other helpful links. Good, yeah, please do keep the questions coming. I'm going to put in some helpful links here. Here's a getting started guide and creating your first event. Here's a link to our open office hours and free training. Is there an overview for the fees? There is not, and that probably would be something good for us to make. A lot of the tools are free. Most of the time, people are using Google Docs and PDFs. Maybe the map of participants. Those are all free. You create the PDF on your own. With Zoom, 1 cent per user per minute. There's also $1 per day. Pricing calculator. And there's a link right there. We've been used for a lot of different types of events. So one would be a career fair. I can show an example of that. So you've got all the different vendors. They have a room, we called it a lobby for this one. And people join, they write their name down, say that they'd like to get an interview. When they go into the lobby, there's going to be a group of people there. And then one person from the company will move people one-to-one into breakout rooms with recruiters. And you can use that organizing method for any type of event where you have any sponsors or exhibitors, they have their own rooms, and then they can have their chief executive officer, chief marketing officer available for one-to-one discussions. Speaking of exhibitors, if you've got any sponsors for your event, I'll share this link. You can see what it looks like to have exhibitors at an event. So here you see they change the colors, participate now, here's the logo. So we'll click participate now. This was for the American Society of Landscape Architects in Oregon doing their annual conference. And we just put in a new room here. They put their agenda here. They did a nice job with their agenda. They're artistic people, so they were able to create one that looked fun and engaging. And you could see here the different sessions that are going on. They had everything happening in one room, and then at different times throughout the event, you can go see the sponsors. So if I go to this sponsor, I can click share my info here. So right there. And then once it's shared, it'll say info shared. So that's an easy way for participants to share their info with your sponsors. Sponsors provide a lot of money for events. So that's why we built these features to make it worthwhile for sponsors to want to pay you. You can put their logo up here. You can have the sponsor's website displayed. You can put in Instagram and Facebook just as examples. And then if people want to join video with that sponsor, you click here to join video. If participants want to share their info, they can also do it quickly from what we call an exhibitor passport, which you could put it anywhere you want. But this is a fast way for them to share their contact info with everybody here. So share, share. Okay, let's see, do we have additional questions that are posted? Great. How to embed a PDF document? It'll be the same process. So once you upload it online, then you just copy the link and you paste it in. And that's going to be over here, list of tools you can embed on QiqoChat. So the person writing in pink, you could see their name here, Rena. Okay, Rena. So in the list of tools you can embed, I'll be sure to share this with you here. So and you can peruse that. So we're looking for PDF. Oh, this is an interesting one. They use this for demographics. So what's your age, for example, and you could see which participants, they can pull a dot off the top to show what age they are, and kind of like a histogram to see who has what job, what role in which organization, if you want to see who is in the room. An interesting technique that those organizers had. So to embed a PDF, you can upload it. You can upload it to QiqoChat, and here are some instructions for how to do that. Or if it's already online, you just copy and paste the link. So in this event here, these are all PDFs that are embedded. Underneath, there's always a link to open it in a new window. So you can see that PDF here is hosted on that organization's website, alliancecpha.org. How to link a social media account. For example, follow us on Instagram or like us on Facebook. We have some instructions for that here in the list of tools you can embed. We'll go all the way up to the top and then down to social media and Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. So we'll go to Instagram. Copy the embed code from one or more Instagram posts, and then you paste it into a QiqoChat article. A Kiko article is a place where you can store some custom HTML or embed code. It sounds a little bit more complex than it is. It's just a page where you can put embed code on QiqoChat and you can edit it and your teammates can edit it and then it will update live. So you create an article on Kiko, you paste the link into your event, and then participants will see that as they refresh the page. So every time you change the page, every time you refresh this page, you're going to see whatever links they have at the top. And then you can edit the article, change the HTML out. In this example here with Cut Fill, where they did announcements, they would change out this every hour. I appreciate the questions very much. Would anyone like to turn on their microphone and add a question? I'll also see if there's a message in Zoom. Question from Kate. Can anyone in the room interact with that tool? Yes. Everyone in the room can see the buttons at the top of the screen, and then when they click it, then it will change the tool that's on the right-hand side. And you can control who has access to that tool wherever you have built or purchased that tool. For example, with Google Docs, you can have a tool, you can have a document that is open to everybody, or you can have a document that's only open to the people in your conference. So you would add their names to that document or maybe share a folder with them, then it's going to be private. So if they share the link with someone that's not at your conference that you have not given access to, then that other person won't be able to see it. Which raises a question about who can come to a QiqoChat event. You can make it so that anyone can get in, or you can make it so that just people on a specific access list can get in. Maybe they're people who have paid you. So you can collect money through Eventbrite, and then there's a way to connect that directly to QiqoChat so that you can instantly receive money on Eventbrite, and then it sends the invitation out to the person who just paid you. Here's your personalized link on QiqoChat. When they click that link in their email, then they show up into the event. They don't have to enter a password because just by registering on Eventbrite, that's going to create their account on QiqoChat automatically. Where it says where to start, there's a lot of helpful tools here. This is going to load a Google Doc. It's our homepage, a marketing brochure, pricing calculator, and you can try it out. Here's an example event and an example of the gardens. A gardens is a different type of page. It's not like an event that has a start and an end, like a conference, but instead it's a place where any member of your group can go at any time and get on a video chat, and completely unscheduled, or maybe there's a rhythm of when people are showing up. So people might show up in the gardens at noon on Wednesdays to have lunch together. And I'll show you what the gardens looks like. Here's a quick start guide for creating an event, or you can create a circle. Again, that's a place for people to come back to for multiple events. It also has a member directory. And then if you're judging by the questions people are asking, they're thinking pretty deep into this, here are some other helpful resources. We've covered the list of tools you can embed. You already have that link. Here's different security options and how to invite people. And here's other frequently asked questions. There's a helpful video series here. After some facilitators hold some interesting events, we often interview them. So to share the lessons learned with other people who are hosting events on QiqoChat. And here's the guide, the whole user guide, to see all the other articles like this one. We always have free trainings and open office hours, about 6 per week. So especially Monday, Tuesday is usually 2 per day. So you could just drop in and get any question answered very quickly. That's our differentiator. We make sure that we're available to answer your questions. And if you miss us at the open office hours, you can catch us over WhatsApp or email. There's a Google group you can join for other people that are hosting events on QiqoChat. So you don't have to just hear it from us. You can get good ideas from them too. If you'd like to join some active circles on QiqoChat of other facilitators, you're already in this one if you're in this event because you're learning about QiqoChat. So this event is in learn.QiqoChat.com. If you're a facilitator, you might be interested in liberating structures, which is a type of facilitation, general dialogue, and then open space. I promised to take a look at the gardens, so I'll click here, go into the gardens. Every circle has its own gardens. You can create a circle for free. The only thing you pay for on Kiko are the events. So when people join the garden or when they join your conference or event, that's when Zoom is charging us and that's when we charge you. So when you enter this garden, there's only one thing to do here. It's just join video. And if it starts to get a lot of people in there and you want to break out into different spaces, then you can look at these other gardens down here. So garden 1, garden 2, garden 3, and you can name them whatever you like. So the topic in here, they said general conversation. I want to go into this garden. I click enter. And instead of cooking, maybe now we're going to talk about hiking. And so now people who are at any garden can see garden 2 is talking about hiking, and then they can move themselves into that garden. So it's about self-organization, people just hanging out, moving around. And the difference is they feel cared for because you built the spaces for them, and they also feel trusted because you let them move themselves. And that's why people bring their best to Kiko events. We often hear, I thought I was going to be able to get so much other work done, and I was just going to listen to this event by multitasking and answering emails. But then I was surprised. I was very drawn into the conversation. So that's one marker of a QiqoChat event is we draw people in because we give them options, give them the ability to move themselves. And then we give you, as the organizers, the ability to make interesting spaces that they want to go into. All right, so we covered a lot of ground. Happy to answer more questions. We'll quickly look over here to see if we've got some more. We've got all the ones answered so far.
I have another question or two.
Yes,
so
Frank,
in the skills, you could enter some skills there, what you can practice, teach, and learn. Is it also possible to select out of a drop-down list the skills?
Yes, it is. You can pre-populate what skills you want to be available, and I can put more information about that. We had one group which did that. First, some people might not know what skills map we're talking about, so I'll open up, let's say, the Liberating Structures community, ls.QiqoChat.com. That'll take you to the home page. And this is an interesting community because they're putting all their events. We got 5,000 people in a Slack community, and they post their events on QiqoChat. And some of the events are on QiqoChat and other events are not on QiqoChat. So you can use Kiko as a shared calendar for your group of people. We'll go take a look first at the member directory. 668 people, and you can zoom in to see where they are. And here's the skills map. We'll try full screen view because it's pretty, 600 people is a lot of people in there. I'll just open it in a full screen. So there's the link that you would embed into your Kiko event if you wanted to display this. And in this circle, people could freeform type anything they wanted. So we'll let the map settle here. If it's red, it means something that they want to learn. If it's green, it's something they want to teach. And so it's interesting when green and red line up, oh, somebody can teach something that someone else can learn. Here's an example of that. So strategic not working. So Barb wants to learn strategic not working and Nancy can teach it. So that shows you how they can connect. You can kind of move this around. And it's just fun and playful. That's a way to surface the data that people have. And so making it a bit more structured from a drop-down menu could make this even more valuable. When you curate your space and you curate your group, you can tell them that if you emphasize that this is important, then this will actually become fairly accurate and many people will fill it out. And then you can also get the data too. If you want us, we don't expose people's personal data like their email address, but anything that they make public, we can get that to you in an organized way so that you can analyze it yourself and visualize it using other tools too. Well, thank you very much for staying on. I'm going to stay on as long as it takes to answer any other questions you have. I'll put my email address in the chat, lucas@QiqoChat.com.
And maybe to the license model, so we only pay for the Zoom and the rest is for free, or is it?
Yes, you pay for the live events. So for a live event, let's say it happens on Friday, but you spend 2 weeks to create it. And you go in every day and you edit it, you add a room, you add a tool, all of that's free. You only pay when people join video. On a day that someone joins video, it's $1 per day per person, plus 60 cents per hour. We measure by the minute. So if you would like to see the pricing calculator on our homepage, so here we have 50 people, 1 day, and it's half a day, 4 hours, $3.40 per person. It stays the same even if you have more people.
And what's the best way to start? Just to set up a mockup or demo, you can just register at QiqoChat or?
Yes, to create, let's go back to our event here. Create your first event.
Oh, okay.
QiqoChat.com/start event. And that link here is also in this one. So this is a great place to start. I appreciate your questions very much. We'll stop the recording here. If anybody has any additional questions watching online, you can reach us at hello@QiqoChat.com. You can come to these open office hours at learn.QiqoChat.com. And we'll put all of that information in the bottom where the video is. Thank you very much for your time. I'll also stay here to answer any additional questions that people have. Thanks again, everyone.